Frontiera is the channel that tells you about new and future scenarios, jobs, and skills. Subscribe to the channel, don't forget, and click the bell. Today we're talking about a rather tricky topic, skills. First of all, because there is a very extensive body of literature with dozens and dozens of definitions of skills. And it's important to understand that knowledge, the things you learn at school, is one thing. Abilities, meaning putting that knowledge into practice, are another. And skills are something else entirely, which means contextualizing all of these things. Now, the most basic example is that of a driver's license. There's the theory, there's the practice, but driving in fog is one thing, driving on ice is another, and driving in snow is yet another. The second difficulty is connecting the concept of skills with that of the future. Because the narrative tells us about young people without a future, about young people who don't want to hear about the future. And it's obvious because we are bombarded by TV series that are dystopian or apocalyptic. School is more focused on the past and point on the future. There's a war in the middle of Europe. We've been through a pandemic. There's a war right in front of Italy. Who wants to hear about the future? But it's important to understand that there isn't just one future. There are many possible futures. And that means coming up with many strategies. It's essential for charting a course and understanding which skills are needed. The first thing to understand is the concept of weak signals. What does weak signals mean? It means that around us, throughout our day, there are signals that we look at but don't actually see. Looking at something is one thing, seeing it is another. Let me give you an example. In 2014, while walking around my city in the square, I saw some electric charging stations. I had read an essay by Jeremy Rifkin on the Third Industrial Revolution, which talked about the green economy. And I started thinking about the green economy and the jobs it could create. Today, in 2024, we are fully immersed in the green economy. This was a weak signal back in 2014. So the ability to discern is extremely important. That is, to recognize the weak signals around us, knowing that reality keeps changing. It changes constantly, and you also need a bit of imagination. Because to create, you have to imagine, just as Bernard Shaw said. We are facing two major transitions right now. The ecological transition and the digital transition. Authoritative sources tell us that 6 out of 10 people will need ecological skills and 9 out of 10 will need digital skills. And in this case, clearly, you also need to know how to speak English because technology and science will take center stage. And the major scientific and technological manuals are in English, so English will need to be learned just like Italian. Unfortunately, the percentage of Italians with basic digital skills is not very high. Certainly soft skills are transversal competencies. That will be fundamental. They will be essential precisely for facing a future in which we will be interacting with machines. And so, certain soft skills such as critical thinking but also creativity will be crucial for holding our own in comparison with machines. Let us also remember, and with this I conclude, that professions are not static, they are dynamic, and 50% of professions evolve in a non-linear way or through splitting. For example, someone who works on certain interfaces was evidently once a software designer or through merging like mechatronics specialists who combine mechanics, electronics, and computer science, or even through hybridization. Consider that many STEM degrees today are being hybridized with the humanities because at universities like the Polytechnic, students also take exams in philosophy and ethics. Thank you for your attention. Your opinions are extremely important, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.